Welcome to a breaking special report that is shaking both sides of the border. Today, we dive into the explosive claims that Alberta, yes, Alberta, Canada's oil powerhouse, is allegedly in quiet discussions with the Trump administration. The topic: nothing less than joining the United States of America. Sounds unbelievable. That's exactly why it demands your attention. In early 2025, former U.S. President Donald Trump, now back in office, made headlines by declaring that Canada, particularly Alberta, might be better off as the 51st U.S. state. He didn't laugh it off. In fact, he doubled down. During multiple campaign rallies and press briefings, Trump said he was seriously considering a deal to welcome any Canadian province that values freedom, energy, and border security. Alberta fit the profile perfectly. Now here's where things get strange. Multiple sources have confirmed that Trump's inner circle has discussed Alberta in private strategy memos, one of which was reportedly leaked to a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C. The document refers to Alberta as an untapped strategic energy partner with strong alignment to American conservative values. It even mentions possible tariff reductions for Alberta oil, if Alberta leaves the Canadian Federation. And here's what's catching fire across Alberta: none of this is being denied by Trump's office. Alberta has long had a complicated relationship with Ottawa. Rich in oil, natural gas, and conservative values, the province often feels marginalized by federal environmental policies, especially under Prime Minister Mark Carney. With strict carbon caps, pipeline delays, and equalization payments funneling billions of Alberta's wealth eastward, many Albertans are asking, what are we really getting from Canada? Enter Donald Trump. Since January 2025, Trump has rekindled talk of U.S. expansionism, not militarily, but through what he calls economic realignment. In a Fox News interview, Trump stated bluntly, "Alberta wants out. If they're smart, they'll call me." And then, just a week later, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith issued a statement reaffirming Alberta's right to pursue self-determination under Canadian law. Now, she never endorsed annexation. In fact, she firmly stated, Alberta is not looking to join any other country. But at the same time, she introduced a legislative amendment that lowers the threshold for a provincial referendum on independence. Only 500,000 verified signatures are now required, about 14% of Alberta's population, and the petition is already nearing 300,000. Coincidence? Critics don't think so. A new political party, the Republican Party of Alberta, formerly the Buffalo Party, has surged in popularity. Its leaders openly advocate for a two-step process: first, a vote on Alberta independence. Then, if successful, a non-binding referendum on U.S. statehood. It's bold, provocative, and gaining traction. Recent polling by globalnews.ca reveals shocking numbers: 36% of Albertans support or lean toward separation from Canada. Of those, 10 to 18% say they'd prefer to join the United States. That's not a fringe. And then, an unverified report surfaced last month claiming that Trump's campaign had scheduled exploratory meetings with Albertan representatives in Montana. The location: a private ranch known to host diplomatic backchannels. No official confirmation has followed, but images of Albertan license plates at the ranch circulated online, sending speculation into overdrive. Meanwhile, Ottawa is in damage control. Prime Minister Mark Carney called the U.S. statehood talk pure fiction, adding that no province can legally separate without a clear question, a clear majority, and approval from Parliament. True enough, Canada's Clarity Act remains a major barrier. But laws can't stop sentiment. Alberta's push for more autonomy is real. And now, the legal gray zones are being tested. Smith's administration has commissioned a sovereignty readiness panel, including legal scholars, economists, and former trade officials, to study the implications of independence or realignment with the U.S. On the American side, Trump's energy secretary has called Alberta a top-tier strategic partner. During a rally in Arizona, Trump even joked, "We're gonna build a pipeline, not a wall, and Alberta's gonna love it." Some say it was just Trump being Trump. Others aren't so sure anymore. Especially not after a Fox News exclusive aired documents showing that a major U.S. energy company, rumored to have ties to Trump's campaign, is already drafting proposals for joint Alberta infrastructure projects, pending new political frameworks. That line alone sparked a flood of headlines. What new political framework? Is Alberta planning to leave Canada? Is Trump laying the groundwork for a future territorial expansion through economic partnership? Or are both sides simply playing the long game? For now, Premier Smith insists she has no intention of joining another country, but refuses to condemn those advocating for independence. Her careful language has fueled more questions than answers. Meanwhile, Trudeau-era federal structures like equalization payments continue to be hotly contested. Alberta sends more money to Ottawa than it receives, by billions each year. Frustration continues to boil. And here's something few saw coming. In the U.S., a small group of Republican lawmakers has proposed a symbolic resolution titled the Freedom Partnership Act, stating that any Canadian province seeking alignment with U.S. values will be met with open arms. Though largely symbolic, it passed a subcommittee vote, fueling Alberta's online movement even more. On Reddit, X, and TikTok, the hashtag #Alberta51ST is trending among young Albertans and American conservatives alike. Yet, despite all the noise, the reality remains: no formal talks have been confirmed. No binding agreements exist. No government-to-government contracts have been signed. And yet, the pieces are being arranged. A populist mood is growing. Smith's legal groundwork is being laid. Trump's words are stirring political tremors. The question now is not if Alberta will vote, but when. And what comes after, nobody can predict. In the end, this isn't just about Alberta. It's about the future of North America. Will Alberta remain part of Canada? Will it declare itself an independent nation? Or could we see, for the first time in modern history, a Canadian province voluntarily join the United States? No one can say for sure. But the signs are clearer than ever: something is shifting. And both Washington and Ottawa are watching closely. Stay tuned.